on the news tonight. President Bola Tinubu declares nationwide security emergency. Christian Association of Nigeria appeals to the federal government to intensify efforts towards tackling the nation's security challenges. Abroad, military officers in Guinea-Bissau announces that they have taken control of the country amid rising tension in the capital. Good evening and welcome to Delta Television Main News Tonight. I am Pauline Okole. You can also follow our news online on Facebook at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba and on YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website. President Bola Tinubu has declared a nationwide security emergency, directing the police and the armed forces to embark on massive recruitment to confront the rising insecurity across the country. In a statement from the State House, the President authorized the recruitment of an additional 20,000 police officers, bringing the total planned intake to 50,000. He also approved the use of National Youth Service Corps camps as temporary training facilities for new recruits. President Tinubu warned criminal elements that government's restraints must not be mistaken for weakness, stressing that decisive action would be taken to restore peace. The President directed the Department of State Services to immediately deploy trained forest guards to flush out terrorists and bandits hiding in the nation's forests, with approval to recruit more personnel. He called for unity, vigilance, and cooperation with security agencies, commending them for securing the release of abducted schoolgirls in Kebbi and worshippers in Kwara State, while assuring continued efforts to rescue others still in captivity. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has advised state governments to reconsider establishing boarding schools in remote or poorly secured areas, warning that such locations are increasingly vulnerable to attacks by armed groups. The president's caution follows recent mass kidnappings in Niger, Kebbi, and other parts of the country. He also urged mosques and churches to seek security support during gatherings, even as he assured Nigerians of ongoing efforts to secure the remaining abducted students of the St. Mary's Catholic School, Niger State, and others still in captivity. The 2026 appropriation bill has enjoyed overwhelming support from lawmakers as it killed second reading at the floor of the State House of Assembly. Favor Okafo has details.
Describing the 2026 appropriation bill as a clear roadmap showcasing the intent of the state government for the 2026 fiscal year, lawmakers in their various submissions said the bill seeks to consolidate ongoing projects, strengthen key sectors, drive sustainable economic growth, enhance security, and improve service delivery across all parts of the state. They observe that the governor, through this bill, has demonstrated that he prioritizes governance over politics.
Mr. Speaker, any budget where you see the capital expenditure outweighing the recurrent, it means the drafter of that bill knows exactly what he's doing.
In every senatorial district, the government has also made provision for 50 billion across highways and rural roads for each senatorial district. And I'm very confident that the people of the Kano State will benefit from this huge allocation.
Because this budget is that of empathy. Central says here that we are determined to work for our people, deliver on the promises of the MORE agenda, and make life more meaningful for everyone.
The citizens' budget. Citizens' budget, because of the consultative nature, with the mindset of protecting the citizens of Delta State, particularly the most vulnerable households.
The Speaker, the Right Honorable Emma Motimiguo, thereafter referred the bill to the House Committee on Finance and Appropriation to report back by December 9. At the Committee of the Whole, the House screened and confirmed Comrade Olumami Oyibo for reappointment as first member of the State Civil Service Commission. Favor Okafo reporting.
open and transparent communication aimed at achieving a more productive public workforce took center stage at the third edition of the 2025 Breakfast Dialogue with the Head of Service Delta State, held at the Press Center, Government House, Asaba. Violet Monye reports.
The dialogue, which was the final edition for the year, attracted 147 participants, including permanent secretaries, head of extra-ministerial departments, directors, and other senior government officials. It also featured an interactive section where issues affecting public service operations were discussed. The head of service, Dr. Mini Oseji, urged ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, to prepare their annual operational plans ahead of January 2026 in order to strengthen accountability, improve service delivery and aligned activities with government priorities. She stressed the need for statistics training to help MDAs measure progress and outcomes. Dr. Mini Oseji commended the participants and reaffirmed its commitment to implementing the resolutions from the 2025 Dialogue Series.
We are going to circulate these presentations to even those who were not there. So all MDAs will start working on finalizing what should have been the 2025 plan as a way of practice, and then get ready for the 2026 plan, which they will submit to the Office of the Head of Service to show that they are complying. And through that plan, we'll make sure that nobody is left behind.
Participants expressed gratitude to the Head of Service for the training. The meeting featured paper presentation on health and lifestyle changes by Dr. Uche Okwe of the Ministry of Health, annual operational plan by Ms. Joy Tobrise Udele of the Office of the Head of Service, and developing statistics bulletin by Mrs. Elizabeth Uwalia of the Ministry of Environment.
Lifestyle changes refer to modifications or adjustments made to an individual's daily habits, behaviors, and routines to improve the overall health, well-being, and quality of life. When you plan your operation very well, at the end of the day, you find out that key to achieving Delta State public service excellence. Statistic bulletin also helps to provide data for effective planning, for informed policies and decision making.
Highlight of the event was presentation of Servicom suggestion boxes to some MDAs. Violet Monyu reporting.
In a bid to reduce cases of fire outbreaks and promote safety consciousness among children, the State Fire Service has taken its fire awareness campaign to schools across the state. Caroline Ubini reports.
Speaking during the sensitization program at the West End Mist Secondary School, Asaba, the controller of the Delta State Fire Service Command, Mr. Eugene Uziwele, said the initiative was aimed at teaching pupils and students the basic steps to prevent fire incidents, how to react during emergencies, and the importance of early reporting. Mr. Uziwele noted that schools were strategic because children often handle electrical appliances, cooking equipment, and other materials that could easily trigger fire when not properly managed. He said the fire service campaign would continue in more schools with plans to reach rural communities and train volunteer fire marshals.
We are firefighters, but we are not really interested in fighting fire. It is better we prevent it than fighting it. And how do we prevent it? It is when you take the campaign down to the citizens. They know what to do at every particular time. The dry season is here with us. We are taking it across the state to various schools to see how we can inculcate this habit of safety consciousness into the students. They can equally pass it home to their families.
The campaign team demonstrated practical firefighting techniques, including how to use fire extinguishers, how to make emergency calls, and simple evacuation procedures.
You use this one to cover the fireplace, and the fire will do what? We die down.
The Vice Principal, Student Affairs of the West End Mist Secondary School, Mrs. Genevieve Mordi, commended the efforts, describing it as timely, especially as the dry season has approached. Some students who spoke expressed excitement, saying they now understood the dangers of playing with matches, electrical appliances and burning refuse close to buildings.
We are very grateful and thankful for coming and enlightening us and educating us about this important topic today.
The dry season is here again, and Deltans have been advised to be safety conscious in order to avoid fire outbreaks in their homes. From West End Mist Secondary School in Asaba, Caroline Obini.
The House of Representatives has urged the federal government to take swift diplomatic action to secure the safe return of former President Goodluck Jonathan, who was in Guinea-Bissau on an international election monitoring mission when a coup occurred. The House leader, Honorable Julius Imawere, explained that Dr. Jonathan, known for his peaceful democratic legacy, was caught in the political unrest while serving on behalf of ECOWAS and the Commonwealth, the African Union, and Nigeria. He stressed that Jonathan's safety is a matter of national importance and that authorities are already taking steps to address the situation. The minority leader, Honorable Kingsley Chinda, backed the call, noting that concern for Dr. Jonathan would also reflect Nigeria's duty to protect all its citizens abroad. The House adopted a resolution urging the federal government to employ all diplomatic channels to ensure the former president's safe return. The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has appealed to the federal government to intensify efforts toward tackling the nation's security challenges. The CAN president, Archbishop Daniel Oko, made the appeal at the opening of the 32nd Triennial General Assembly of the Christian Council of Nigeria, CCN, held at the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria in Wuse 2, Abuja. Speaking on the theme, Demand for Justice and Righteousness, Archbishop Oko warned that the deteriorating security situation was threatening the soul of the nation and imposing fresh moral responsibilities on government. He stressed that it was the constitutional and sacred duty of the authorities to protect the lives and property of all Nigerians without discrimination or excuses. The CAN president also urged the Christian Council of Nigeria to remain steadfast in supporting CAN's push for stronger national action. He said the church must continue to demand justice for communities affected by violence while advocating for a safer and just society for all. The Nigerian Defense Academy NDA has announced that online registration for a 78 regular course will begin tomorrow. A statement signed by the Academy's registrar, the NDA confirmed that the application process is open to qualified male and female Nigerians interested in pursuing admission into the institution. Prospective applicants are to log on to www.ndaapplications.net to purchase an access code and complete their online forms. The Academy explained that candidates must reflect purchase access code and make payment through remitter using the order ID and RR code generated on the portal. The registration fee had been fixed at 7,000 naira, and applicants had been warned to avoid making payments through unofficial channels. The NDA also urged candidates to carefully study the application guidelines before submitting their forms. The institution reminded the public that it had previously dismissed a fake list of successful and reserved candidates for the 2025 Armed Forces Selection Board, stressing that only information released through official NDA platforms should be trusted. You're watching Delta Television main news. Still to come, military officers in Guinea-Bissau takes control of the country amid rising tension in the capital. Please stay with us. We'll be back.
It is more than just a home. It is a sanctuary. It is your statement. Introducing Soft Home Interiors, where luxury meets modern living. Imagine sinking into unparalleled comfort, surrounded by the finest materials and exquisite craftsmanship. Soft Home Interiors transforms your space into an oasis of tranquility. With our modern royal sitters, Turkey and Arabian chairs with tables, beautiful unique dining sets, all types of breathtaking interior pieces. And that's not all. We also offer you interior designing consultations as we are ready to serve you in any way you want. From the subtle details to the grandest gestures, Soft Home Interiors elevates every corner of your home. Give us a chance to bet your dream home. For sales and consultations, visit us at our head office located at Asaba Lagos Expressway beside Apam's Funeral Undertakers opposite Ekemas Oil Nigeria Limited, Asaba. You can call us on 0803 672 9662 or 0708 943 8130. Follow us on Instagram at Soft Home Interiors. Catch all our latest designs on TikTok at Soft Home Interiors. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at Soft Home Interiors to discover the art of modern living. Soft Home Interiors, modern luxury redefined.
Hi, baby girl. Hello. I know. I've missed you.
Why text when you can talk? With Glow Talk Master 6 for 6. You get all the time you need to catch up with friends and loved ones. Free with Glow Talk Master. Talk for 6 minutes and get 6 minutes free. Plus 50 MB data. Simply dial *606#. New Glow subscribers also enjoy an extra 2,000 Naira data and airtime welcome bonus. That's right. Every time you make up to 6 minutes of calls in a day, you get 6 free minutes plus 50 MB data. Simply dial *606# now to enjoy Glow Talk Master. That's right, 50 MB free data to connect and share as you please.
Welcome back. You're watching Delta Television Main News. A group of military officers in Guinea-Bissau has announced that they have taken control of the country amid rising tension in the capital, Bissau. This follows reports from government sources indicating that President Umaro Sissoco Embalo had been arrested shortly after heavy gunfire was heard around key installations. The key officers later appeared on state television declaring the suspension of the ongoing electoral process as citizens awaited the results of Sunday's presidential election. They claimed their intervention was necessary to prevent what they described as a plot by unnamed politicians allegedly backed by a well-known drug baron to destabilize the nation. In their broadcast, the officers also announced the immediate closure of all national borders and imposed a nighttime curfew. The situation had heightened uncertainty in the West African country, with regional leaders and international organizations closely monitoring developments. Pope Leo XIV has begun his first foreign trip since assuming the papacy, embarking on a 6-day journey that will take him to Turkey and Lebanon. His visit coincided with historic Christian anniversary in Turkey and comes just days after Israeli airstrikes in Beirut, adding diplomatic weight to his stop in Lebanon. The trip follows plans originally set up by the late Pope Francis, but Pope Leo had continued the theme of building bridges, a message he had emphasized since his election in May. A major highlight of the visit would take place in Iznik, the site of ancient Nicaea, where the Pope would join other Christian leaders to commemorate the 1700th anniversary of the Council of Nicaea. The gathering marks the reaffirmation of Central Christian beliefs dating back to 325 AD and served as a symbolic effort to promote unity between Eastern and Western Christian traditions long separated by historical divisions. While in Turkey, Pope Leo would also visit the Blue Mosque, following the footsteps of Pope Benedict XVI and Francis, and held meetings with religious leaders to promote interfaith dialogue. His diplomatic approach, described as cautious but deliberate during the first 6 months of his papacy, will be closely watched throughout the significant overseas mission. No fewer than 14 Nigerian commercial banks are yet to meet the Central Bank of Nigeria's recapitalization requirement as the March 31, 2026 deadline draws nearer. The CBN Governor, Dr. Olayemi Cardoso, disclosed that 16 banks have so far met the recapitalization threshold ahead of the deadline. He made the announcement in a statement issued after the bank's 303rd Monetary Policy Committee meeting in Abuja. Dr. Cardoso said the progress recorded reflects the growing financial soundness and resilience of the country's banking sector. He noted that the Monetary Policy Committee, MPC, had urged banks to ensure a smooth and successful implementation of the recapitalization exercise. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, has called for a downward review of interest rates in future Monetary Policy Committee meetings and recommended additional measures to improve credit flow to real sector, noting that borrowing costs of 30 to 37% are crippling production and reducing the competitiveness of local industries. Reacting to the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN's decision to retain the monetary policy rate at 27%, MAN's Director General, Mr. Segun Ajayi Kadir, said manufacturers urgently need cheaper credit to stay afloat. He noted that although exchange rate stability is improving, high lending rates combined with poor infrastructure, high energy costs, and insecurity continue to push up production expenses and limit growth, especially for small and medium manufacturers. He urged the CBN and fiscal authorities to work together on policies that support industrial expansion. Mr. Ajayi Kadir appealed to the federal government to strengthen infrastructure and address insecurity, which he described as critical to stabilizing food supply, lowering inflation, and boosting industrial output. The state monthly environmental sanitation we held on Saturday, November 29, between the hours of 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. According to a statement by the functioning Permanent Secretary, the Ministry of Information, Mr. Harold Oji, said the officials of the Ministry of Environment and the Waste Management Board, as well as council officials, will supervise the evacuation of refuse. During the sanitation period, vehicular and human movements would be restricted, noting that external candidates writing the NECO and NAPTEP examinations would be allowed passage upon presentation of valid examination photo cards. The statement advised residents to clean their surroundings and maintain personal hygiene, especially as the Yuletide season approaches. He warned that defaulters would be prosecuted before mobile magistrate courts and fined accordingly. A thought for the day. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Live life to the fullest and focus on the positive. We'll take a look at our highlights before we go. President Bola Tinubu has declared a nationwide security emergency, directing the police and the armed forces to embark on massive recruitment to confront the rising insecurity across the country. In a statement from the State House, the President authorized the recruitment of an additional 20,000 police officers, bringing the total planned intake to 50,000. The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has appealed to the federal government to intensify efforts toward tackling the nation's security challenges. The CAN President, Archbishop Daniel Oko, made the appeal at the opening of the 32nd Triennial General Assembly of the Christian Council of Nigeria, CCN, held at the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria in Wuse 2, Abuja. Abroad, Military officers in Guinea-Bissau announces that they have taken control of the country amid rising tension in the capital. You can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website www.dbsasaba.com. Thank you very much for watching. I am Pauline Okole. Good night.